Hey Stevie Wonder. So this is a STMMMM attempt. First time I'm watching it. La 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 la. It's kind of hard to screw up the beginning, so. A little late on this reactor core. Are you not going to build the reactor core at all? Oh. Yeah, that's really late on the reactor core in Tech Lab. Like I've said before, if he comes with a 7.5 minute void ray, you want to have like 12 Marines because you got your reactor core super early, and by building it this late, I think what you wanted to do, before you even build your second racks, you want to start your reactor core on the first racks. I bet this dude's going to be idle for a while. I'm not sure if this is even going to matter. I mean, I don't know if your Marine count is going to be a really big factor when we get there. But this is a long time without spending any money on military. And one of the key things about TvP is surviving from 6 to 9 minutes and then doing your push. So when I say you have to be really defensively minded from 6 to 9 minutes, I mean, you can't survive a 6-minute push with 0 troops. I mean, if he came with 7 stalkers at 6 minutes, which is an actual Protoss push, right now he would have 7 stalkers, and you would have a bunker with no SCVs close enough to repair it, and nothing in it, and no troops. So, yeah, this opening is very, very vulnerable. You definitely want the reactor core immediately and the tech lab immediately, and you want to have like $1,000 spent on army by 6 minutes, including the bunker. Also, you got to start stim relatively early. I'd like to see stim before the tank in the siege mode. It's not that big of a deal, but if he takes an expo and you scout it, you want to hit about 3 minutes after that expo happens. And stim takes a long time to get. It takes like 3 minutes to get. So if you're planning to go at 10 minutes, you need to start stim right now, you know? And I know there's a lot of different things that are requiring gas from you, and so it's hard to get stim really early. And you chose to get the second tank in the siege mode before stim. But this is all just delaying your push. Also, an empty bunker on the low ground really far away from any SCVs, if he hits you, this bunker is going to go down before the fight even starts, and then he could force field up here, and then it'd be like, why'd you even build the bunker, you know? Also, it's important to have a medevac before you push out, and you never want your army to be in front of your bunker. What's the point in the bunker if the army's out front? So again, this feels like a very small army to me, and it's out front in front of the bunker. Like, you're not playing defensively at all. If he came with any sort of like standard attack, you would get hit out in the open and get pwned. That's right, Gwenny, standard attack. Gwenny is quoting me. Your money is getting very high, and if you're planning on moving in the next minute, there's just no way stim's going to be done in time. Stim is a 3-minute upgrade, so you need to start it 3 minutes before the attack, so you're just not going to have stim when you attack. And medevacs and stim and SCVs, the synergy between those things is what the attack is all about. You need tons of Marines, stim, and some medevacs with tanks. Just tanks are utility. They're in the backfield. You don't need 3 tanks. You need 2 tanks. And you can get another one if he makes a ton of sentries. And he did make a ton of sentries, so it's okay that you're getting 3. But the point is that if you have to choose between stim and a tank, always choose stim. And if you have to choose between another medevac and a tank, always choose the medevac. So really, you want to start Banshee production after your second medevac is out. You don't want to go with just one medevac. This tank seems to be stuck back in your base. Okay, that's good. See if the rally points are set. Yep, they're set. Okay, so you're coming. I've said lots of times that army spending benchmark at 10 minutes is 3.5K, and you clearly missed that by a reasonable amount. Yeah, you had 2,400 spent on your army at this point, plus 100 and 200, so plus 300, 400. So you had 2,800 spent on your army, So as you can see, you just have a lot of money stuck up here not being used. And you didn't get stim. So this could have been a lot cleaner. If you had spent this money, then you'd have another $800 to your army, and then you'd be well ahead of the 3,500 benchmark. So you have 2,800, but you could have 3,600, which would have been perfect. If you had 3,600, then everyone would be kissing your feet and telling you what a great job you did with this build. So the cash stuck in the bank is what's really kicking you in the balls here. And now you're going for combat shields instead of stim. In general, I do prefer combat shields to stim, but when you're doing this push, it's a timing push that is all about the healing done, right? SCVs heal each other and medevacs heal SCVs. And healing, stim and healing just go really well together as a concept, because stim is like plus 25% damage minus 10% health, but if you have a bunch of healing because of the push you're doing anyway, then that, you know, you might as well be using stim, because it just really goes well together with that. So as you can see, your army is bigger at this point than your opponent, because he took his third, so it's good that you're attacking now. He didn't have a Colossus up, he didn't have Psystorm up, so that's good as well. He's oversaturated his main and undersaturated his Expo, so that's good as well. Lots of things are good for you in this push. You have 4 Marauders queued up here. That's terrible for you. You never ever want to do that. So you have a ton of unspent money, but you hid it from me so that I wouldn't notice by queuing up 5 Marauders. And that's just really silly. I mean, you missed enough queues at your production facilities that you had enough money left over to do this. So really getting away with just these 4 production facilities means that you have to be on the ball. Every time a production queue is up, it has to be building something, or else you'll just stack up money and whatever. This engagement, this is obviously going to be the end of the game. What you want to do is throw down bunkers before he starts fighting you to force him to attack into you. So you siege up your tanks, throw down bunkers, and he's going to attack into you. And if you can separate the bunkers, like one here and one here, then the Zealots will do that little, we want to get by the bunkers to hit the tanks, but we're stuck in between the bunkers kind of thing. By throwing down the bunkers, the SCV's job is to absorb damage, and bunkers, the second you throw them down, they have like 70 health, and an SCV has 45 health, so like you're instantly tripling the health that SCV is bringing to the table by throwing down bunkers really quickly. Siege up these tanks and target fire. Hold down shift and right click this sentry, this sentry, this sentry, this sentry, this sentry, this sentry, like that with your tanks, and then go back here, hold down control, click your marines, and hit stim. And then grab your Marauders and try to, or grab the things in the back and just try to get them up to the front, that kind of thing. Your SCVs all died before the engagement happened, and that's a symptom of not understanding the positioning. It is good that your SCVs soaked up damage like you wanted them to, but you don't want them to all die instantly, you know? So this is going quite well. You need to have at least 2 SCVs left alive at the end of the engagement in order to build bunkers, because winning the battle is the first step, but Protoss is going to keep warping in, and his upgrades are going to finish, and you want to get your bunkers down. So it's good that you had SCVs left over at the end. That went really well. It could have been done a lot better, but, you know, you did it, but you played better than he did, and that's all that it really takes to win the game, is to do better than your opponent. So, really good job. I like that you had a Banshee and a Medevac with more Banshees coming. I dislike that you continued to make tanks. Again, after 2 and maybe 3, you don't need more tanks, because if you focus too heavily on tanks, then your opponent can just go Immortal Zealot and crush you. I like that you hit before Colossus. I like that you got the bunker after you won the fight. I like that these guys are sieged just barely within range of the Nexus, but far enough away that they can actually get there. That's great.